to master the cold call. What is up, guys? In today's video, what I want to do is show you exactly how to master cold calling as a beginner and how to become an instant expert when it comes to your cold calling success. This is going to be a step-by-step breakdown on how to master cold calling, knowing exactly what to say, how to say, and most importantly, the skills you must know right now in 2023 to become the best cold caller possible. But before I break it down, do me a big favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. So if you're a beginner right now and you want to learn how to get really good over the phones talking to motivated sellers, and especially for your cold calling talking to them, this is the right video for you. So the first thing we have to understand is, why do you need to master cold calling? What is the reason for it? Why am I dedicating an entire video on this channel on how to master the phones? Reason number one, if you can learn how to master your cold calling, you're going to absolutely crush and destroy your competition. Your competition is going to get destroyed and wrecked when it comes to your cold calling, because you're going to have the skills needed to do everything. You're going to have the right scripts. You're going to build rapport with your sellers really effectively, and you're going to be able to sift through leads, so you're going to be the most efficient as possible for your cold calling. The next and a huge reason is you're going to get more deals. If you're better at cold calling, you're going to get more deal volume. This brings us back to the third reason, which, yes, we're going to get more deals, but also if we're really good at cold calling and we're really good at building that rapport, we're going to get really good at getting the best margins. So we're actually going to increase our profit. And if you look at that equation, if I can do more deals and increase the profit, I'm not just going to double my business. I'm probably going to triple or quadruple it. This is why cold calling is so important to increase this skill. The next reason why we have to get really good at cold calling is, the better you're at cold calling, the easier it gets. The less stressed you are to start cold calling, the less nervous you are to get it going. If you get those skills really well, wholesaling, real estate, and cold calling becomes super easy. Last but not least here is, if you get really good at cold calling, you're going to make a ton of money. And if you make a ton of money, you're going to be able to get really good at it. And if you get really good at cold calling, you're going to be able to transfer those skills to employees and VAs, so you can scale up and get out of the business and start leveraging your time and your money and making as much money as possible while scaling up your cold calling operations. Let's get into the 6 things on how to master the cold call. Number 1, having the right script. If you use my script that I have absolutely for free at freewholesaling.com, you're going to be able to learn my 2-step script I use in my wholesaling real estate operations that nets me millions of dollars from just cold calling. The script is simply asking the property owner if they are the owner of the house, and number 2, if they're interested in selling the property. That is 95% of the script. Now, if they say yes, they're looking to sell the property, all you got to remember is MCTP, motivation, condition, time frame, and price. Then from there, you qualify the seller or more, get off the phone, call them back, set the appointment, get the deal, and make a bunch of money. That's the name of the game for wholesaling, especially when it comes to cold calling. But if you want to learn a little more about the script, just go to freewholesaling.com and I break that down a little more into detail, but it's absolutely killer for your success. The second thing we have to master is our deliverability and our tonality. If you're able to deliver your message to a motivated seller that you are looking to buy more properties in the area for cash, you and your partner, and if you can say it with the right tonality, there's a better chance the seller's gonna be like, dang, this person knows what they're talking about. Maybe I'm gonna give them a shot. Maybe I want to sell my property to you. Number 3, to piggyback on top of this, is having confidence and tonality. The difference between good confidence and bad confidence can change everything on the conversation for your cold calling. This is the simple difference between saying, hey, are you looking to sell your property? Because I'm looking to buy some more properties for cash, versus, hey, are you looking to sell your property? I'm looking to buy some more houses for cash. Do you see the difference between those two? On the first one, I had confidence and a great tonality, and I delivered my message very well. And on the second one, I didn't have confidence, I did not have good tonality, and my message wasn't delivered with the same pizzazz. I said the same words, but I said them differently. It's about how you deliver the message. It's more about how you say something versus what you say. Number 4 here, what we have to master is composure and objection handling. The one thing I can see somebody who is very confident, they're nailing the first 30-45 seconds of the cold call, and they're doing so well. But if somebody gets hit with an objection that they don't know, they start stuttering, they start messing up, and they fail the conversation. This is why sometimes if you get a bad seller that just keeps talking over you and is very aggressive with you, and you know how to answer the objection and you keep your composure, you're going to do well. This is why you should go to freewholesaling.com and learn the objections, the most common ones, and how to overcome them. Stuff like, who are you? What do you want? What's your offer? Things like that. It's going to help you out. So if somebody asks me who I am, my name is Zach and I'm looking to buy your property for cash. Now, if somebody asks me, what's my offer? What's my offer? What's my offer? I'm just going to say, hey, Mr. Seller, have you ever bought in a car? And most of these people are going to say, of course I've bought in a car before. Well, have you test driven the car before you bought it? Of course I did. I have to do the same thing like that car. I have to test drive the house. I actually have to go look at it, breathe it, smell it, feel it to see if this is a good deal or not for me. Does that make sense? Yes. So I have to give you the offer when I actually go and look at it. Number 5 here, and this is very underrated for cold calling, but this is knowing how to qualify your seller correctly. wholesaling and knowing how to end the call. Now, you're gonna have to end the call. Some people waste their time talking to sellers for 30, 40, 50 minutes just to qualify them, and that's not gonna end up having the best success for you. The honest truth is, if you know how to qualify the seller and knowing when to end the call when it's not a good deal, is going to be very important because it's going to help you save some time. If you're able to streamline your process and actually talk to more sellers by not dealing with the tire kicker deals, you're going to spend more time cold calling, more time talking to sellers, more time giving offers, and more time doing deals. Number 6 here, having the right list and doing the right skip tracing. If you have the right list and the right skip tracing, your cold calling process is just gonna sound so much better. You're gonna sound more confident, you're gonna deal with more motivated sellers, and you're just overall gonna have a better cold calling experience, which will give you more confidence. Make sure you're actually going after really motivated lists, and you'll do fine. So the next question here is, how do I actually increase my cold calling skill set? I know what to do, I just explained it to you, but how do you actually increase these skills? Honestly, there's 2 ways to increase your cold calling skill set. Number 1 is practice, number 2 is through experience. This is very similar to learning boxing and actually being in a boxing match. Maybe boxer number 1 has been in 2 boxing matches his entire life, but he spent 10,000 hours in practice for boxing versus the other person that maybe spent 6,000 or 7,000 hours practicing boxing, but he has over 100 professional boxing fights in his career. The person with more experience is just going to be way better. Sometimes the experience is going to absolutely destroy somebody who has a ton of practice but no experience. You have to have some practice and some experience, but the best way to increase your skill set is just having both. So what are the 4 steps to becoming really good at cold calling and mastering it? I've honestly developed a 4-step plan on how to get really good at cold calling and become a master of it, and let me share it right now. Number 1, learning the knowledge of cold calling. Hey, you're watching this video, you're actually doing step 1 currently. You're getting knowledge of cold calling, knowing how to do it, and getting all the knowledge possible so you can start implementing the action. I would also supplement and go to freewholesaling.com, which is a free real estate wholesaling course where you'll learn everything from A to Z, the entire cold calling process. I have some live cold calls. You start getting it going and start learning cold calling. Step 2, planning a method of action. This is planning what list to pull, what script you're going to use, how often you're going to be cold calling, and how frequently you're going to be cold calling. Step 3 is pretty simple. You're implementing your action plan. So your plan should say, hey, Monday through Friday, I'm going to cold call from 5 to 7 p.m. on a probate, code violation, and a driving for dollars list. I'm going to skip trace on truepeoplesearch.com, or I'm going to go pay for a skip tracing service, and I'm just going to start calling. So step 3 here, we're just going to implement that plan. Cold call 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 hours a week for a year straight. And then step 4 is really just readapting the plan and adapting any changes that need to have according to the plan. So maybe I'm cold calling and I'm getting no results. Maybe I change up my list. Maybe I change up my skip tracing. Maybe I change up my script. I adapt to the plan because everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That's what Mike Tyson says. And yes, your plan might be doing very well on paper. Maybe in execution, it's actually not doing too well. You have to be willing to adapt and change when it comes to cold calling based on the skill set you have and the results that are happening on it. This is why I recommend you look at your data, what your contact rate is, which is how many people are saying hello versus how many dials you're making, and how many leads you're getting per hour of cold calling. Start taking notes, start taking statistics, and start implementing all the knowledge I have in this video and at freewholesaling.com, and you will be on the way to becoming a master at cold calling. Cold calling takes work and hard dedication, but if you're willing to work hard and dedicate yourself to getting really good at the craft of cold calling, you're never gonna struggle finding wholesaling real estate deals. If you got any value from this video, do me a big favor. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.